trying to think of all things past. How long will my memory last? The purple angel, purple angel, purple angel, you're next to me.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Alzheimer Speaks Radio. I'm Lori LeBay, and I'm the host and founder of Alzheimer Speaks. For those of you that are new to our program, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes here to kind of fill you in on who the heck we are. Bottom line, Alzheimer Speaks is an advocacy-based company providing multiple platforms to shift our dementia care culture from crisis to comfort around the world. We believe that by joining forces and sharing knowledge and having these everyday conversations about life with dementia, that we're going to be able to remove some of the stigmas attached to memory loss and help those who are diagnosed with the disease continue to live with purpose and enjoy life. At our core, we believe collaboratively is the only way we're going to win this battle, and that is all generations working together. And today I'm so excited because we've got one of our younger generations with us, Hailey Richman, who I will introduce here shortly. But I am going to encourage you to share this show. If you are on Facebook or if you have a Twitter page or if you're on LinkedIn, please share Alzheimer Speaks Radio with your audience. You never know who in your circle is dealing with this because there still are so many people who don't feel comfortable talking about it. And I also have to thank you because through your shares, Alzheimer Speaks was named the #1 influencer online regarding Alzheimer's. According to ShareCare and Dr. Oz, and that would not have happened without you. So from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate your assistance with that. We feel it's just so critical to hear all voices. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to give you a couple of free offerings that you might want to check out. One is with FreshBooks. It's a great way to just be able to track your finances. And you can get a 30-day trial by just going to freshbooks.com/alive. Again, just go to gofreshbooks.com/alive. The other one is with Audible Books. If you go to audibletrial.com, you can get a 30-day trial to check out one of their downloads for free. Again, audibletrial.com/social to take advantage of that offer. Now, today, we're going to be talking with Hailey Richman, who is just an amazing 9-year-old child who is a caregiver for her grandmother who has Alzheimer's disease. And Hailey has created a web blog to offer support to kids who are acting as caregivers. She also is the assistant director for Puzzles to Remember, which is a 501c3 charitable organization, which was created by Max Wallack, who we've had on the show and who is just an incredible man himself. So, Hailey, welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. And I think your story is just pretty amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about, before we kind of get into the definition of a caregiver, how did you get involved in taking care of your grandmother? How did that happen?
When I was 4, my grandma developed Alzheimer's disease, so my mom helped me research things that I can do with her because I knew that she couldn't do things that she used to do, and we found puzzles to remember, so I started doing puzzles with her, and then I started including other people, and then it got bigger, and then we got to know Max Wallack, and since he was very proud of me, he made me the assistant director. And then I got inspired, so I thought maybe I can start a website called Caregivers to offer support to other kids who have grandparents or parents of Alzheimer's disease.
Well,
that's not alone.
That is wonderful, and it's so exciting to hear someone your age getting so involved. But you have a great role model with Max, for sure, in terms of all he has done. Can you share with our audience, what is your definition of a caregiver?
My definition of a caregiver is somebody who help somebody and warm them and make them feel nice inside and make them smile, and who really tries hard to make them happy, and they can research about it, and they really are happy with what they're doing.
Oh, that's a wonderful definition. I think sometimes in our world, people think, caregiving is a burden and not something that is fun to do. But you seem to really have found a way to be able to have fun giving care and giving peace and comfort to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Do you feel strongly that kids are capable of being caregivers?
Yes, as long as they try hard enough.
As long as they try hard enough. I think that goes for adults too.
Yeah.
I think that goes for adults too. Now, you had started your web blog, and I'm just looking at that right now, and it looks like in April you had written something, helping your loved one when they are very confused. And you talk about you had a really nice day with your grandma and you played basketball. And I think, that's something that a lot of people might think, well, they can't do that. How can they play basketball if they have Alzheimer's disease? But your grandma is able to do that with you, and
yeah, and it doesn't matter if we have the rules. It just matters that we're having fun. And even if she didn't get scores, we just helping her try. And when she did it, what happened was she hit it, and then my dad helped her get into a net. And we didn't really play by the rules, so it was just fun and everything. And it made her made her feel normal, and it made her mind actually normaler. She didn't ask weird questions or anything, and she was saying our names correctly, and she was very happy.
Oh, how nice. And I think that that's really important. Sometimes adults think that everything has to be done by the rules. And it really, you seem to have found kind of the magic key that it really is about the comfort and not necessarily the rules. Granted, we want someone to be safe, but by engaging them the way you did, like you said, your grandma seemed to have maybe a little bit more clarity. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the other things that kids can do to act as a caregiver?
So the things that kids can do to act as a caregiver is maybe they can play puzzles, and they can paint with their grandparents or parents, and one of the other things is go into their world if they have Alzheimer's disease. To be a good caregiver, you can't say, for example, if let's say you have a grandma and she says, where's her husband? Her husband's not alive. You don't want to say that he's not alive, because that will hurt her feelings and she won't understand. So instead you should say he went to the supermarket.
Oh, boy, you are just one wise little girl. You have really gotten this figured out very, very good. Now, I'm also looking on your blog here, and you've got something about rock music, and it looks like you and your grandma are both listening to some rock music. Is that correct?
Yes. We went to the Queen's Museum, and there was a Ramones exhibit, and it was interesting. I don't think my grandma might have known who the Ramones are or anything, but it was still fun because she got to listen to the music. And I've read a few places that music can help their minds. So she was just dancing, and she was calm because I think music calms them.
Yeah. Well, and she was probably just enjoying being with you. And I see pictures here with you both having your headsets on, and it just looks like you're having huge smiles, like you're just having a lot of fun, which is great. So I love that. A lot of times people think that somebody with dementia, they can only listen to the type of music that they've listened to in the past and that they know. But you're showing that experimentation, that Grandma was okay with that too. And I would imagine if she wasn't, then you would have stopped. But that it's okay to experiment with things as well. So I think that's great. And getting her out into the museum was really, really nice as well. Now, is your grandma able to get out a lot?
Yes. When we come visit her, she gets out a lot, and we usually take her to the park or something. But she also has an aide that will take her out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, where does the aide take her out to? Do you know?
The aide usually takes her out, maybe to the bank or stores. And sometimes she takes her, not to a kid's park, but there's something that we call the chess park, and it's like a calm park with birds and everything, and she likes it.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Now, do you talk a lot with other kids that are caring for parents or grandparents?
Well, none of my friends care really for ones who have Alzheimer's disease, but I do have lots of friends who got inspired by me, and they also want to be caregivers. So they come with the nursing homes to me, and they help me. And I think on my blog I have some pictures of my friends. You might see.
Yep, I have. It looks like April 2nd, you've got an article, Helping Other Caregivers, and it looks like there's another gal with you. And I'm not exactly sure where you're at. It looks like at the nursing home there. So that is wonderful to do. That you're inspiring other kids to participate and not be so afraid of it. Do you think there's a lot of kids who are acting as caregivers?
Yes, I do, because even if you're not doing the same thing, because not everybody has Alzheimer's disease, there are probably 1 million kids out there caring for different things. Maybe their parent's in a wheelchair, maybe their grandparent has lost his leg, and maybe they do have Alzheimer's disease. So maybe everybody in this world is a caregiver in some shape or form.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you there. I think everybody's a caregiver from the moment they're conceived. I think we have great impact on one another. And I think it's brilliant that you're taking such an active role and doing it in such a positive light there. Now, on your blog here, you've got some tips for people about pick an activity that you think your loved one can do. And you've got, if they cannot move their legs, do something where they move their arms. And don't worry about the rules, and encourage the loved one to participate. And you say, do not play for too long of a time because the loved one might need a break. And I think those are all great, great tips. And again, you've got some wonderful pictures here when you're interacting with people as well on your blog. So who takes your pictures for you?
My mom.
Uh-huh.
My mom and sometimes my dad.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Now, what does the nursing home think about you coming in and doing all the work that you're doing with your grandma?
Most of them think it's really nice that they do it, and they smile when I do it. And I'm going to try after school to come and volunteer for the whole nursing home on a program for that.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great. I know I've talked to some kids that have actually started even support groups in their schools for kids that are caregivers. Is that something that you think you'd ever be interested in doing, or do you just like getting out there and doing it?
No, I would do it. I would do it.
Yeah, because I know the schools nowadays have so many different groups to support children, and this can be a tough issue. But it sounds like your family has been really open with you about your grandma and her disease, which I think is really beneficial for everybody. Where I think a lot of families don't really talk about it, and the kids don't always know. Have you found that true with some of the kids you've talked to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes it a little harder to participate when you don't really know what's going on. So I give kudos to your whole family for being so open and supportive and loving of your grandma's disease there. So, do you have plans when you grow up in terms of what you wanna be when you graduate? I know that's a ways off.
Yeah. I want to be a scientist or a doctor, scientist/doctor who develops the cure for Alzheimer's disease, and I also want to be a vet.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's great. Well, you look at Max and what he has done. He's just been pretty incredible out there. It would have been fun to have him with us, but his schedule is so tight today. I think that's great that you're the assistant director for Puzzles to Remember. That's a pretty big job for a 9-year-old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell people what you do in that role?
What I do in that role is I get under people's balls and I distribute puzzle boxes and I make collection boxes and I play puzzles with seniors.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Now, are there other kids that you're trying to recruit outside of your area? Do you talk to kids around the world, or do you talk to kids mostly in your area?
Well, I do have a friend who's from the other part of the world. She moved here, and she does like helping.
Uh-huh.
She's actually on my blog, I think, and it shows us and her playing tic-tac-toe and tossing a ball with my grandma.
Oh, okay. Yep, I think I saw that one. I wasn't sure who that one was. Yep. Okay. Well,
She's from Russia.
Okay. She's from Russia. And does her grandma have dementia, or her grandfather, or is it just a friend that you met?
She's a friend I met in school, but she really seems to know, because it might be a little confusing for her, but she understands that she's healthy and making a difference.
Wonderful. Well, I think that is absolutely fabulous, and I think your grandma is extraordinarily lucky to have such a wonderful granddaughter that takes such great care of her. And others. I can see when you're playing with your grandma, it looks like there's other people that are kind of hanging out with you as well and sharing in the joy that you bring. So that's wonderful. Now, sometimes, do you think kids can get a little overwhelmed when they have to care for someone who's sick?
Yes, I do think, because my grandma fell and she broke her nose and her eyes, and I was very scared to see her because it was very scary to see her all hurt, but it could be scary. But the good news is that you can get over your fear by actually doing it, because when I went up to the room when I saw her, she was okay, and it got me over my fear of that forever.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because none of us like to see a loved one in pain and hurting and stuff, but so much love, can help heal that wound. And I can tell just from your pictures and talking with you that you and your grandma have a pretty solid and special bond between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is your grandma is she still able to talk in full sentences to you and state your name, or?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes she'll call me my mom's name, but then I'll say I'm Hailey, and then she'll say, "Oh yeah, yeah."
Okay, and I bet, have you looked at pictures? Do you look like your mom when your mom was younger?
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to do that too. To my brother, she would call him her brother all the time, and he would get upset with that. And I think sometimes people do, but it sounds like you know that the name isn't as critical as the bond between the two of you. So do you have plans for anything else regarding caregiving? I mean, you seem really like just a strong, smart child that's kind of on a mission to change the world here. Do you have other things that you're thinking of doing to help other kids and people living with dementia?
Yeah, it's called the Memory Walker Alert. We haven't fully harnessed it yet, but basically what it is when it got inspired by this. When my grandma lived alone and she didn't use her walker, she fell always, and I got bothered by that, and because she didn't remember anything, because she had Alzheimer's disease. So I thought there should be something that can tell her to do it. So at first I thought it should be a beep, but then I realized Grandma won't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought that I can make something for the Memory Walker Alert, or that I can have like a microphone on the device that says, "Grandma, sit down or use your walker. You cannot go by yourself." And it would be saying out loud so she would hear it.
Oh, okay. And is that something that you are looking at developing, or is that in process of being made?
Yes, it's called the Memory Walker Alert.
It is. Okay. And is that for sale now?
No, we haven't got the materials yet for it.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to see where it was in the process. You'll have to keep us posted when that comes into play and people are able to purchase that. That sounds like
the prototype.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience about kids and caregiving? Things that they should know?
Yes. I think that every kid that's a caregiver out here should know that you have to go into their rules, and if they don't want to do something, you have to follow them. And everybody should know that's a caregiver, that every person that makes a loved one smile is being a caregiver, because when they smile, it helps all their problems go away, and it just makes them feel fresh and nice.
Yep. There's a lot of power in a smile, isn't there?
Yes, lots of power.
Yep. That's very good advice, because so many times they mirror back at us whatever we're expressing. So if we go in kind of with the growl on our face, or if we're upset, that will upset them because they know something is off. And so that smile can really calm them down and keep the situation calm. And it's something that really doesn't take much for us to do. It's just being conscious of who we're showing up as. Have you ever done any presentations or anything in your school about Alzheimer's and dementia and caregiving?
I want to, but I haven't had time because we're very busy. But I plan to actually do something probably very soon and make them aware of kid caregivers. And I think maybe I can have a summer camp where kids come with me, and they help distribute puzzles to seniors, and they can play with the seniors.
Well, that would be wonderful to be able to get them involved. That would be great. Well, if you ever develop a presentation and you want some help distributing that, I'd be more than glad to do I have a platform called Conscious Caring Resources, where we do a video interview, and you could be our speaker for that, and you might be able to inspire kids all around the world to get more involved. So if you ever decide that that's something of interest, you just let me know, okay? Okay. Well, now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, is the best way to, I know you have your web blog, and that's kidcaregivers.com, www.kidcaregivers.com. And then you also have a Facebook page, Kid Caregiver. So if people put that in, they'll be able to connect with you. And then we also want to make sure that we mention your charity organization with Max Wallack, which is Puzzles to Remember. And that's just puzzlestoremember.org. And do you want to tell people what Puzzles to Remember does and how it can benefit them?
Okay. Puzzles to Remember is a 501c3 charity which distributes puzzles. And what happens is Max, the owner of it, wants to get kids involved to distribute puzzles and to make them aware that about Alzheimer's disease and how they can help.
Wonderful. Well, I salute you in all your hard work, Hailey. You are just a marvelous, marvelous example for not only children but for adults, and what a difference they can make in somebody's life by stepping up to the plate and caring for somebody with dementia. So thank you so much for all you are doing for the world. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For having me on the show.
Well, great. So you have a great week, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye
You're
now.
welcome.
I want to give a shout out to a couple of things that you might be interested in. Our last radio show was 10 tips on making life easier when caring for someone with dementia. And we also had a show with Patty Kerr on, which was all about her book, I Love You, Who Are You?, which was just a really insightful show. So I would encourage you to listen to both of those. We also just did our Dementia Chats, which is a free webinar that anybody can participate in. And the topic there was dementia and anger. And I think you'll find some great tidbits there for learning. Our experts are all living with the disease, and they just have such great insights. Our last Conscious Caring resource was with Pauline Gordon, who is living with vascular dementia, and she's written a little booklet about how to help those diagnosed with vascular dementia and also those caring for them. And coming up next on Conscious Caring Resources will be Alon Caspi, who is a behavioral therapist for dementia. On our blog, you may want to check out a great new music video called Children Caregivers, and also a couple of articles by those with dementia. One was on May 18th by Michael Ellenbogen called The Path of Alzheimer's, Why Did It Take So Long? And the second one was on May 23rd by Brian LeBlanc called I Hate You, which is about the hate of the disease itself. I want to give a shout out to the Caregiver Alert Center, who disseminates information quickly once somebody goes missing. And it's something you can get set up for next to nothing. It's under $15 a year. You can have it all ready to go in case that emergency situation would hit your family. Until next week, you have a brilliant week and a wonderful Memorial weekend. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.
Hey everybody, Jared Sebestier, host of Retire Repurposed. This podcast is dedicated to help people transition into fulfilling and purposeful retirements. Retirement is a big life change. In fact, the two most dangerous years of a person's life are the year they were born and the year they retire. Few people could just flip the switch from working a career 30 or 40 plus years, retiring on Friday without methodical steps to living what we call a repurposed retirement. To listen now, search Retire Repurposed on your favorite podcast platform, Senior Resource, or Life Audio.